The following is a special video presentation from the Las Vegas Review-Journal. You are watching RJ Debates 2020. Here is your host, Steve Sebelius.
Welcome to RJ Debates 2020. I'm Steve Sebelius. In this debate series, we are talking with candidates for judicial office up and down the ballot. Tonight, we are going to be talking with two candidates for Family Court, Department P. Sarah Dayani works for the Family Court currently. She is a law clerk there. Mary Perry is an attorney in private practice. And both of our candidates tonight are proud graduates of the William S. Boyd School of Law. And Mary is actually a graduate of the very first class of the William S. Boyd School of Law. So we are going to start our debate tonight with opening statements. Sarah Dayani, you go first.
Thank you. Thank you to the Review-Journal for hosting this debate. I also want to take the time to thank my supporters in this election. There has been a huge outpour of support for me from my 14 endorsements and the countless attorneys who trust me as their candidate for the race in Department P. You can see their names posted on my website, sarahdayani.com. My name is Sarah Dayani and I'm running for judge in Family Court Department P. The current judge is retiring and I'm asking for your support and your vote in the upcoming general election. Please remember to vote for Sarah Dayani. For over a decade, I've worked at Family Court. I've assisted judges with thousands of cases. I've been trained to think like a judge. I am ready to be a judge. I have the knowledge, temperament, and experience necessary to be a great judge. I have been trained by 3 different judges with different approaches to the bench. I understand that this case is everything to the litigants in my courtroom. I plan on handling cases with compassion, dignity, and respect. I will apply the law fairly and I'll give everybody an opportunity to be heard. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Mary Perry, your opening statement.
Hi, everybody, and thank you for hosting this debate. I really do appreciate it. My name is Mary Perry, and prior to becoming an attorney, I spent 8.5 years on active duty in the United States Air Force. I'm very proud of my public service that I started then. I needed to find a way to get an education while being a single parent without going in debt. I enjoyed every minute I served and would have loved staying in, but life had different ideas for me. Once I was discharged, I moved to Las Vegas, and this has been my home since 1993. I attended UNLV for both my undergraduate and my law school, graduating in 2001. I passed the bar in the same year, and I hit the road running. I have represented 1,000 clients in the courtroom, being the attorney of record. I have conducted thousands more consultations. I believe experience in the courtroom is a very important part of becoming a judge. Practical, hands-on applications of real-life facts to the law is the best way to learn to apply the law as a judge. I have that experience. I have also done more than just go to law school and be active duty in the Air Force. I have worked so many other odd jobs.
All right, Ms. Perry, I'm sorry to interrupt, but that's time for our opening statements.
Thank you.
But to segue on something you said there, in the primary debate, you mentioned that you believed that people who are seeking the job of judge need to have litigation experience in the courtroom. So this question first to Ms. Dayani, do you think that is a deficit, not having that litigation experience representing clients in the courtroom?
I think every ounce of experience somebody can get in their legal career is helpful. However, I have been trained by 3 different judges to think as a neutral. I have heard so many judges step on the bench and say that they didn't realize how hard it was going to be to switch gears from being an advocate to now being a neutral. I'm not going to have that problem. I've been trained to think like a judge. I have worked on thousands of cases from beginning to end. I have talked to people about their concerns in family court. And quite frankly, the only experience I'm lacking in this campaign is the experience that my opponent does have because she has ran for office 3 times now. You probably know her name because she ran for Congress in 2016 against Dina Titus. I have put my life, my career, my professional career into family court, helping with court improvement. I started the UNLV Pilot Property Debt and Mediation Program alongside Professor Ray Patterson and Professor Jennifer Elliott in 2009. It is a free program where law school students mediate real cases for us at family court, and I am proud of my contributions to Southern Nevada, and I want to continue to do good work for the court.
All right, thank you for that answer. Ms. Perry, let me ask you this. Do you think you would have any trouble going from being an advocate, representing those 1,000 clients, to being a neutral judge if you were elected to this job?
Absolutely not. I approach every single one of my cases in a neutral manner, because if I can't determine what the other side is going to go with, then I'm not doing my client any good. Plus, if I'm not sitting there trying to be neutral, then there is no way I would have the reputation for being as fair to both sides as what I have right now. I will have absolutely no problem with becoming neutral in a case, because I tend to do it all the time. I only take sides when I'm in the courtroom, but when I'm settling the case, I believe in fairness to all.
All right, thank you very much for that answer. Now, speaking of experience, both of you went to Boyd Law School, both of you took the bar, both of you have been in the legal system. When I speak to judges and candidates for judge, they all agree on one thing, and that is that access to justice is not equal among people. And so I want to ask, how would you help people in your courtroom who don't have your experience, don't have your legal education, and can't really get it at the Self-Help Center? What would you do to help those people? Ms. Perry, that question to you first.
One of the big things to do, and why practicing law is very important, is you learn how to talk to the litigants as people. You learn how to ask them questions to find out what the underlying problems are, what they have to say. They may not know how to say what needs to be said, and they may not know, how to put it in the proper terms, but if you know how to ask the right questions, you're going to be able to get the facts out of them that are very easy to apply to the law. And I've done that. That's why I've done thousands of consultations. Some people may not like the answers that I give them during the consultations, but I do give them the honest answers. Everyone, whether they have an attorney or not, should have the access to be able to talk to me as if they were talking to a judge in a way where I would be able to understand them and them understand me.
I see. Thank you for that answer. Ms. Dayani, what would you do to help people who don't have your legal background and experience?
So working for the court, I can tell you that I see firsthand that 70% of our litigants are unrepresented. They are coming to the court probably for the first time. They have kids, they're fighting for their homes, custody, for their retirements, and this case is everything to them. I will treat every case with compassion, dignity, and respect, and there are some avenues for help and support. We have the Self-Help Center, we have Ask a Lawyer, we have a trial prep program that runs once a month, and oftentimes all of those things still aren't enough. But there's no right to an attorney in family court. You get to choose your own counsel, and sometimes people are able to hire superior counsel, and that's one of the problems in family court. I would like to see more mediation programs. We have the Family Mediation Center. Like I mentioned before, I was one of the people who started the UNLV Mediation Clinic. I would like to establish more partnerships. The Neighborhood Justice Center is somebody I'd really like to reach out to see if they'd be willing to mediate cases at family court. So these families that are connected in conflict, stuck in the system, can maybe talk things out. Family Mediation Center is very limited with what they have right now, and I plan on applying the law consistently and fairly.
First break, which we will do right now. We'll be right back with candidates for Family Court Department P right after this.
All your listeners and followers, the best name of any podcast in the world is podcast.
Nobody's ever done it. Nobody's ever faked
Not that we know
death.
of.
No.
When you work with Prince, you got to get used to the fact that he changes musicians like underwear.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like
Tom Brady. And Tom Brady, he's a quarterback in the Boston area.
I'm not sure who you're talking about.
Get ready for every Raiders game with us. Vegas Nation Game Day will give you everything you need to know about each week's matchup.
I'm excited.
Sundays at 9 a.m. starting in September on YourView. Vegas Nation Game Day coming this September.
Welcome back to RJ Debates 2020. We're speaking with candidates for Family Court in Department P. The family court sees a lot of drama over divorce, a lot of drama over child custody. Emotions are very raw. Some of these cases are very fraught and emotions are high. Tell me how you are planning to keep things on an even keel, keep things calm when so many people are dealing with anger and sadness in your court. Ms. Downey, this would go to you first.
Okay, so I can empathize with what people are going through. I have talked to tons of litigants before their hearings, after their hearings. They will call chambers. It's me that they're talking to, and they've expressed their frustration with the system. This case, again, is everything to them. These are their kids. This is their life that they're talking about. It's stressful and it's financially draining when they are paying attorney's fees. Again, I plan on handling cases with dignity, compassion, respect. I want to be predictable, and the only way to be fair and predictable is to always apply the law correctly and clearly and consistently, which I plan to do. I also want to emphasize that these are families and they should be treated as families so they can continue to co-parent.
Sounds good, Ms. Downey. Thank you for that answer. Ms. Perry, same question. How are you going to keep things calm when there are so many people who are running through a range of very intense emotions?
One of the main things would be trying to keep finger pointing at a minimum, keep them on track, making sure they understand, the law is very important and that you've got to apply the facts to the law. And unless there is extenuating circumstances, that it's going to be equal. Their property will be split equal, the debt's going to be split equal, and the children, there should be joint physical custody with both of them, with joint legal custody. And there, as long as people understand what you're looking for, where it's going, and that you will be fair to all of them, and that you are going to treat them with compassion, and that you understand where they're coming from, then they're going to stay calmer. As long as you keep their finger pointing down to a minimum, and yet at the same time still watching out for those cues that you learn, when people are lying or not telling you the truth, and you got to keep that down to a minimum. So you just need to treat them as humans and not just as litigants.
Absolutely. Thank you very much for that. One of the issues that family court deals with, as you both are well aware, is domestic violence. In cases of domestic violence, how would you balance the rights of a parent to visit with a child against the rights of the victim and the children to be safe from violence? Ms. Perry, you go first on that question.
One of the key things is most people understand that victims of domestic violence has a lot of other areas in which they're fighting with. They've got their emotions, they've got their fears that they're fighting with. And you've got to be able to help them understand that even though they're victims, the kids still love that other parent, and that we're not going to give enough control of the kids to control the victim, but at the same time, we're going to do what's in the best interest of the children. Those children is what's important in this. And we have to keep in mind that the best interest for them to be able to love their other parents or both parents equally is very important.
All right, Ms. Downey, your response. How would you balance those rights?
So sadly, domestic violence is something that a family court judge deals with on a daily basis. It can run the gamut from stalking and harassing to physical abuse. It's important to know whether the physical abuse happened to the children and whether those children need protection. So if the children were the victims, then you would have to, and that would be more of child abuse, but domestic violence isn't under that umbrella. And we grant TPOs on behalf of children as well. So you can do supervised visitation at Donna's house. You can do supervised visitation at Family First Services. And if it's the other parent, then you can have some communication apps. We have Talking Parents. We have our Family Wizard. That way the court can also watch how the communication is going so that that victim is not further victimized. At the Family Law Conference, I've been a speaker at that conference for the last 3 consecutive years in a row. We talk about domestic violence, and it is something that a family court judge needs to be familiar with, needs to understand. We need to know that it escalates over time. When children are exposed to it, they will repeat patterns. The cycle of abuse continues. So it's really important to always use the best interest of the children when modifying custody or determining custody, because that is the paramount consideration.
Thank you for that answer. We appreciate it. We're going to take another break, and we'll be right back with candidates for Family Court Department P right after this.
With so much excitement building around the Raiders and their inaugural season in Las Vegas, the fans want to be heard. The launch of Vegas Nation Fan Zone is their answer. That's right, Raiders fans can sound off on all things Raiders, from players to coaches to even the new Allegiant Stadium. Vegas Nation Fan Zone is accessible 24/7 and allows fans to generate and upload their own posts for lively interaction. Simply go to fanzone.vegasnation.com to sign up today.
Welcome back to RJ Debates 2020. We're talking with candidates for Family Court Department P. The National Institute of Mental Health says that 1 in 5 adults will struggle with a mental health issue in any given year. Nevada is not known for its plentiful services with regard to mental health. What specific experience do you have in dealing with mental health that you could bring to the bench? Ms. Dayani, why don't you answer that question first?
So you're absolutely right. Mental health is a growing concern that faces our community. Currently, Nevada is 50th in the nation with mental health. It's for that reason that my sister decided to become an MFT, and she's also a dual licensed clinical licensed drug and alcohol counselor. I have a deep appreciation for the professionals in our mental health community, and I just wish there was more of them. We see it every day at Family Court, and it can range from allegations of a personality disorder to an actual diagnosis. And you are absolutely right. Mental health is rampant. Your average person will encounter a mental health episode. We are in the midst of COVID right now, and a lot of people are having adjustment disorders, whether you know it or not. About 90% of people are going through that. I understand that I am not a mental health professional, and I need someone qualified to make that diagnosis. Our outsourced evaluations are incredibly helpful, and the stigma surrounding mental health needs to be abolished, and people need to be able to seek treatment the way they seek it for physical ailments.
Yeah, thank you very much. Ms. Perry, same thing. What special training do you have in dealing with mental health that you could bring to the bench?
I've taken a lot of psychology classes while I was going after my undergraduate degree. I've also both represented clients who had the mental health issues as well as being on the opposite side. I know that these cases take a lot of time and effort, and the judge has to be willing to listen to the outsourced evaluators, the psychologists who do understand these problems. I have to also understand the fact that a lot of the mental illnesses are treatable with drugs and then also with some sort of counseling. But then there are also some of those mental health issues that there is no treatment for them, and they go back and forth, good times, bad times. The judge has to recognize it and realize these cases are going to be back before them multiple times throughout the children's majority.
Thank you very much for that answer. This next question goes to you, Ms. Perry, first. If there was one thing you could change about Family Court based on your experience there, what would that one thing be?
I think I would want to bring Blue Jeans in a lot more than just during COVID. This allows parents who cannot afford a babysitter to still be home to take care of the children and be able to conduct the hearing just when it's time. It also allows attorneys to be able to work on other things while they're waiting for the hearings instead of sitting out in the hallway waiting for the judge to be ready for their cases. I believe it would be financially more economical to everybody, and it would lower the cost of litigation for those people. I really believe Blue Jeans is one of the best things that the courts have not utilized enough until now with COVID-19.
Mm-hmm. Ms. Dayani, what one thing after your years of experience in the Family Court, what would you change if you could change one thing?
So I would actually like to address Ms. Perry's answer for 1 minute. Working for the court and seeing how Blue Jeans works firsthand, I have a completely different opinion as to how Blue Jeans is working. We are doing our best. We are trying. However, it's not working. People are confused by the link. There's technology issues. Not everyone has the access to a computer for that audio visual. Not everyone has a smartphone. And we have technical issues. We have people not getting on. Hearings are continued. It's actually, we are trying our best, but it's not working. It's not something I want to see continue. What I would like to see is more training. What I would like to see is more training across the board for court employees on domestic violence, on mental health, on dealing with problem litigants. And I would also like to see more resources for our self-represented litigants, more mediation programs.
All right, thank you very much for that answer. We're going to take one final break and we'll be back with closing statements from our candidates as RJ Debates 2020 continues.
The Vegas Nation podcast is your source for all your Las Vegas Raiders news. Subscribe and get fast takes and smart coverage. Download the Vegas Nation app, check out vegasnation.com, and stay up to date with your Las Vegas Raiders.
Alexa, play my flash briefing.
Here's what's new in today's news.
Stay in the loop of the latest information in the Las Vegas Valley with the Las Vegas Review Journal Flash Briefing. Every day, we will provide you with everything you need to know in news, business, weather, entertainment, and sports. Go to the Alexa app and search LVRJ News Briefing. Then say, Alexa, play my flash briefing to hear 3 minutes of the most important information in Las Vegas.
Welcome back to RJ Debates 2020. We've come to the point of our debate where we'll hear closing statements from our candidates. They'll have 1 minute each for this closing statements. We're going to go in reverse order than what we did at the front. So, Ms. Perry, you go first.
Hi, my name is Mary Perry, and I am your candidate for Family Court Judge in Department P. I have the best experience between myself and my opponent. I am ready to take the bench and know how to apply your facts to the law. Decisions regarding your children and your property and debt are too important to not place the person with the right experience on the bench to make those decisions. Once again, my name is Mary Perry, and I am asking for your vote come November for Family Court Department P. I have endorsements from Hispanics in Politics, from the veterans, positions on issues in Nevada First Agenda, Political Action for Animals, and the Las Vegas Police Protection Association. There's a lot of things that I can do. I like to say that I have done much more in life than just practice law. I have lived life outside of the law as well. So I will be better able to understand your situation. My name is Mary Perry, and remember, P is for Perry.
Thank you, Ms. Perry. And Ms. Diani, your closing statement.
Hi, once again, my name's Sarah Diani, and I want to thank you for giving us this platform so your viewers can get to know us. I care about this community. Clark County is my home. I went to Argyle Gray Elementary School, Bonanza High School, UNLV, and the Boyd School of Law. I have ties to this community. I'm raising my kids here. I care about the future, and Family Court plays a vital role in that future if you truly believe that children are the future, because decisions are made that shape the lives of children every single day. I am the candidate that knows the law, that keeps up with changes of the law, that's invited to speak at our family law conference every year for the last 3 consecutive years. I have been at the forefront of court improvement. I have given my life to public service by staying as a court employee to help with cases. I am dealing with cases from beginning to end, and I'm trying to do my best every single day so that the right decisions are made, and I want to continue with that endeavor. Thank you for taking the time to get to know me. Once again, my name is Sarah Diani. Thank you.
Thank you to both candidates for agreeing to participate in tonight's debate. I appreciate it. That's all the time we have for tonight's debate. You can stay up to date on all the political news of 2020 on our website. That's www.reviewjournal.com. Until next time, for the Las Vegas Review Journal, I'm Steve Sebelius.